Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Yosel. Welcome back to Breathedge. We have a location on the shuttlecraft Normandy, which is totally not going to be a Mass Effect ripoff and or horrible death trap. One or the other, kind of hard to know which it's going to turn out to be, probably both. However, we need to get back to the base, we need to pick up the encrypted tapes and decrypt them on the interphone, as well as figure out how exactly we're going to cross 14 kilometers of horrible radiation and various other hazard-infested space, including at least one set of angry military robots.
Try to
Now,
unlock the ventilation.
oh yes, of course, this is the airlock. We're at the other side of the rather, what can I say, an event of permed hair run this way? Yes, well, let's see. Ventilation. I think I need a grabber for this. Yay, we have some wire clogging ventilation. Let's try this one. We have refined metal clogging ventilation. That ventilation shaft does not appear to be clogged, and this one has...
I was correct. The brains clogged the ventilation. Now
Right.
the security system should shut down, which will allow you to unlock the door manually from inside.
Excellent. And in fact, he did attempt to ram the brain. A large brain almost smooth. Ooh, now. For those of you not familiar with it, one of the reasons the brain is folded and twisted the way it is so it can get a greater surface area and greater contact between neurons. So a smooth brain would be something of an insult because, well, it implies that the now disappeared owner of the brain was not in fact a particularly smart person. But at least we've got quick access back to the hub whenever we need it. Now the next thing I need is to go and get the bike, or more accurately, the vacuum cleaner, and then toddle on down back to base and figure out exactly how we're going to proceed from here. And I still need a good supply of electrical tape for various tools and other things. I actually need another scanner. However, what I could also do is dismantle these oxygen stations along the way. I don't really need them now. I've got a permanent oxygen supply there, and I've got enough speed between the bike and the booster that I can get from that station right the way back to the engineering shuttle without needing to tank up on the way. Probably even have a bit of spare on the way. So what we'll do is brake, tank the last of the oxygen from here, then pop a handy scrapper, and need a tool to dismantle. Come on, there we go. Right, we have some rubber, we have some aluminium. Is that it for useful stuff? Yeah, it's it for useful stuff. Oh well, rubber is good. Rubber can be made into electrical tape, and thereby the circle of construction can continue. It would be the circle of life, except, you know, those things weren't actually alive to start with. Also annoying is that I don't seem to have a way of retrieving any electrical tape from these giant reels of electrical tape. Granted, the width is off, and the bots were probably objectified did. Remember, unauthorized taking of supplies is treason, and treason is punishable by death. Probably. So, back to the engineering shuttle, at speed. Well, something approximating speed. Come on, gastrointestinal distress. Rebuild my thrust boosters. There we go. Forwards. Forwards. As I say, we'll grab those things. I'll leave the rest of these stations here just as an emergency reserve. I don't think I'll... Actually, is that worth it? Because, well, I've just gone right past them. I had close to 90 seconds in hand, even after stopping to dismantle that station. So, what's the point? I might as well just scrap them on the next trip and have done with it. Okay, pop a container. Right, what do I need? Well, for them, we'll stash one of the first aid kits. Only need one of those. We'll quickly nom down some food and chug some water. Perfect. Now, we need tapes. We need highly, not at all compromising encrypted tapes. And I also need to figure out how to make a new scanner. Equipment, tools, scanner. Metal, battery, plastic, and a light bulb. Okay, I think I've got all of that. Plastic, light bulb, spare scanner that still has 5 uses in it. I'll make another one anyway. I need metal and a battery. Well, I have neither of those. Huh. Which I'll need to make another battery. Actually, no, I do have a battery. There we go. Metal, 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 metal. So, equipment, tools, scanner. Just need to get some metal. That should be a simple pop outside with a handy scrapper, shouldn't it? Metal. I need metal. There we go. You'll do. And in fact, there's one up there, so we don't even have to waste handy scrapper durable to get it. And there's also a handy tape recorder here because these things usually have spare batteries in them. Right. Unleash the riddle of steel. Or in this case, titanium and aluminium. So we've got a battery and some more wiring. Perfect. Alright, so back into the shuttle. Proceed to make myself an engineering scanner. Well, just a scanner really. Also, I should grab some more metal while I'm out here, because I've run the vacuum cleaner bike. Vacuum bike? That works. And it sounds a hell of a lot more sci-fi-ish. Vacuum bike down to 50% fuel, so I need a couple of shots of metal and resin to make some more fuel for that. Always remember, keep your vehicles properly tanked up and maintained. Ah. There we go, and a couple of shots from the repair tool as well. It's almost intact. Things are actually looking reasonably good. Alright, back inside. Construct one scanner. There we go. Huzzah. So we have another 15 shots of scanner power. That's always useful. And also I need some resin. Resin. There we are. That should be enough to make some more fuel and quickly tank up the bike. Resources, composites, not composites, objects, equipment, somewhere in here. Items, here we are. Fuel, perfect. There we go. And okay, I'm going to make a regular oxygen candle rather than the large type, because the large oxygen candles don't work to make a oxygen station, for which I need thick electrical tape. Surprise! Told you I was having a shortage of this stuff. There we go, another bit of rubber. Quickly construct the tape. Got it. And last but not least, station. Not enough inventory space. Fine. Drop the honey. Still not enough space. Dump the light bulb and the titanium. There we go. Reserve oxygen station to give me a waypoint if I need it further into the game zone. Right, check I've got the tapes. I do. Next stop is going to be back at the station's info in order to figure out exactly what's on these tapes. Forwards! Bike, forwards! Also, I should probably remember to actually tank up the bike, shouldn't I? Oh well, details. And I've still got to dismantle some of those various bits of garbage and hope of getting something useful, and also proceed to collapse those oxygen stations, which I've now flown past twice without remembering to do it. On the other hand, I am short of inventory space, so perhaps that's for the best. Right, round this corner. Whee! And in fact, you know what? I don't think I even need to bother with the oxygen station. I can just use the airlock to get into the liner, can't I? Ha! Okay, well, that oxygen station served its purpose. It's now slightly redundant, but hey, who worries about those things anymore? I mean, it's not like I'm grudging every single bit of electrical tape and resource to progress further into the game? No, not at all. Okay. Yoink, there we go. And into the airlock. Huzzah! I am no longer suffocating through the gravity lock. Let's go to see what's on these caves. Let's also get a scan of the interphone, because you never know, if I can build my own, it might save a lot of back and forth later. Rest in pieces, guys. Once, actually no, you won't rest in pieces at all. I mean, there's an atmosphere in here, but once this place gives up, decay is slow in space. After all, the bugs don't like hard vacuum any more than the rest of us. So, dispense of grabber. Also, access code Bluebell. I should probably remember that. Scanner. Start with the durability 5 scanner. Scan the interphone. Huzzah!
That's how it actually works. How interesting.
Yes, we can now make our own interphone, if we should ever want to. Right, we have a spacesuit mark. I already know the coordinates. And, okay, one more tape. Spacesuit mark. Interesting. There's a new mark there, 700 meters up. A couple of others to check out. Alrighty. I'm still not sure what that is. Let's have a look at the achievements. No, that's not a thing. It'll be the second chapter and, of course, the third chapter. The chicken appears to be turning into a mutant. And if I mess with electricity too much, yeah, maybe not. Attacking a security robot is a felony. Sharpshooter, right, okay. You have a car, or you had one if you have already broken it. I say, okay, interesting. Also, plus 5% with a handy scrapper. Now my forearms are asymmetrical. Some of these are interesting. Almost served. And then suddenly failed all medical tests. Can this be because it is almost served? No, it probably can't. Right. Items. Oh, I can actually use the metal recording of the Severson band. Why I'd want to, I'm not so sure. New task. Build a service module. Somewhere. Now, also waypoints. So, spacesuit mark, spacesuit mark, spacesuit mark. Get to the Normandy. Station marks should be replenished. Vehicle is parked there. Oxygen station. Spaceship trees. So they weren't in fact bombs. That's worth knowing. As well as various other bits of debris. And any coordinates marked by Babe are, of course, immediately suspect. So, we've got a few spacesuit marks to check out. We have to figure out how to get further into the wreckage and get to the Normandy, which I remind you is 14 kilometers that way, and there's no way the oxygen is going to hold up long enough to let me get there. We actually have work. Also, we have a soda vending machine. It is strictly prohibited to throw various butts and objects into the dispenser, put any part of your object into the dispenser, clog the dispenser damage anyway, try and remove objects from the dispenser without special equipment. I do not appear to have the 20 or 25 square things. Also 200 for ice. Yike. That syrup must be really, really bad. Right. Oxygen candles, salty packages, water. You know what? Quickly chomp down a bit more food and some water. And then we'll try using the soda vending machine. Remember, it is strictly forbidden to attempt to use special equipment to get free drinks from the soda machine.
Before using such water, it's recommended to boil it first and then pour it out.
Right, I think the chicken now has yet another reason to hate me because, well, after what I just did... Yeah. Don't worry, the chicken is in fact immortal, which means that the hatred now seared into its tiny avian brain will endure for eternity, or at least until my horrible and very beef-flavoured eventual death. At which point I will be stuffed into a coffin manufactured by the Breathedge company, assuming they haven't decided I owe them for all of this handy equipment. Excuse me. I actually forgot to tank up the bike, didn't I? Yank, there we go. So, time to push further in, I think. We'll swing out here. Head through this girder work. And if nothing else, it should give us a better look at what we have to do to get closer to the Normandy, and presumably our eventual goal. I will also have to lower the radiation. At some point, I do need to track down that mayo, or approximately mayo-shaped substance. Mayo consistency substance? Mayo resembling substance, in order to lower the radiation by basically smothering the reactor in mayo. Because apparently that is how you lower radiation in the Breathedge universe. Oh, why does this want my attention? Ah. Okay. Exit out. Looks like we have the remains of a broken shuttle, a honey barrel, and a large oxygen candle. Well, that's always semi-useful, I suppose. Also a tape recorder. Well, the inventory's full, so I suppose the game does want me to build a service module, but further up here would make more sense, wouldn't it? Right. I need the dispenser. I need to build a service module. Interphones, compartments, decor, miscellaneous, guitar. Modules. Corridor, medium service module. I need 2 construction kits and some electronics. Okay. And I suppose putting it in here is as good a place as any. Right, back to the bike. Back to the engineering shuttle, which I suspect we will shortly be abandoning as obsolete. And then I need to pick up those construction kits that I've been hoarding for the last couple of episodes. Some electronics, which I've also been hoarding for the last couple of episodes. And from there, we are pushing into the next phase of the game. Whatever hilarious and comic catastrophes that may involve. 600 meters, 25 seconds on the oxygen. I'm just going to blow a candle. No, not like that. Although it does technically apply. And with the oxygen I've now got, I should be able to get right the way back to the station without using, sorry, the shuttle, without using any of the stations en route to replenish. Overconfident? Me? Nah. That's impossible. So, trundle forwards. Trundle forwards. Hoot, hoot, hoot. Puff, puff, puff. Literally, if you remember how this thing is being powered. What is the vacuum cleaner working on anyway? I assume we modified the turbine. Well, I assume it's a turbine. It may just be a straight 2-stroke. Depends how sophisticated this vacuum cleaner is. And turned it into a combustion chamber instead. Does raise the question of what we're using for reaction mass, but hey, I suppose unburnt fuel works well. I'm fairly sure we haven't got the fuel-oxygen mix working properly. Actually, that's a good point. What are we using for an oxidizer? Such things are important questions, comrades. They must be properly answered, or Kerbals everywhere will forever curse us. Wait, this is the wrong shuttle. Oops. Back it up. That's the shuttle I need, and the bike is there. You'd think I'd smelt a rat when the shuttle was parked at a mysteriously steep angle, but apparently not. Forwards, slightly more. There we go. Exit the bike. Park up, stash the inventory as much as I need. And what did I need for the builder module? Medium service, so I need 2 construction kits and electronics to do the service module. Electronics. Right, I've got 1 construction kit there. I have another construction kit here. I have some electronics, so I can build the service module from a suspiciously small quantity of materials, but we don't need to question that. Next stop, blueprints. Vehicles, transportation, don't need... Oh, that's good. The thought occurs that I have not bothered to scan the... Wait, no, now it turns out I can't scan it. Okay, I may have caused myself some small difficulties here if I ever break that vacuum cleaner, because I have no knowledge of how to build another one. That will be somewhat inconvenient. Now, where was I? Build a module. So, service module done. Huzzah! Next thing I need is an airlock. Aluminium and titanium. After all, there is no point building my service module if I can't get into it. I also need an inductor, so I will need oxygen. And probably a reactor, but I don't see any way of doing that. Improved communications. Aluminium, electronics, titanium. Excellent! All this is written with a marker and therefore it works, adding oxygen and electricity to the station. So, I will need more electrons. Bonk. I will need... Well, let's assume that I'm going to build an airlock, a service module, and a improved communications module that will totally not be a bodged up attempt to actually construct a... well, power the whole kit and caboodle. So, what do I need? Improved communications. Reach chance plus 1%. Bad. Electronics times 1. And then for the module, I need a total of electronics times 2, construction kit times 2, aluminium and titanium times 1 and times 2, aluminium times 3, titanium times 3. So, pop that away. What am I carrying? Titanium times 1, electronics times 3, construction kit times 2. Okay, I'm actually carrying an excess there. So I will then need aluminium times 3, titanium times 2. I need to go outside, get some more titanium, and then we are good to advance into the unknown, comrades. Or possibly just fail miserably in the deep depths of space with no hope of survival. Either is an option. Okay, titanium shots 3, aluminium shots 3, electronics shots 3, construction kit shots 2. I think that is everything we need. So, we shall sit on the bike. We shall take the bike back to the first oxygen station. We shall also, again, neglect to dismantle lethal away. I'm going to make at least one more run back just to transfer all my supplies forward to this new and improved permanent base. From there, comrades, we shall explore the great unknown. Well, unknown to me at least. There are doubtless lots of people who do know exactly what's out there, but they're the developers, and they don't count for the purposes of this argument. There are also, of course, the deceased corpses, but their corpses are dead, therefore cannot communicate their knowledge, therefore their knowledge no longer exists in any practical shape or form. Whether it still exists at all is a question for the philosophers. And I never took philosophy, so yay, brakes. Take a quick exit here. Of course, while I'm tanking up the oxygen, I am also conveniently recharging the accelerator, by which I do not mean I'm acquiring rapid and crippling Reitingdinal fossa pain. Oxygen recharging. Boosters recharged. Right, so if I burn for about 120 seconds of oxygen, that will leave me 50 seconds or so of oxygen as a reserve in which to construct the base. I do have candles though, so you know what, let's burn for 150. We'll run the oxygen meter down to 25, as well as maintaining an appropriate level of speed. And not to mention checking my route, because I need to leave a little bit of slack in my transit course between here and the location of our new base, but at the same time I want the base to be as far forward as possible in order to provide me with an optimum jumping off point. Of such compromises and balances is space exploration made. And if you're a Kerbal, explosions. Lots and lots and lots of explosions. Dodgy construction, built by the lowest bidder, parts, and, well, you probably know how that goes. Okay, 115 on the meter. Keep pushing forwards, keep pushing forwards. Those turbines do not look ominous and or dangerous at all, do they? Okay, also, radiation levels are climbing to worryingly large levels. I am going to have to find some way of firing more giant mayo-like substances towards the reactor core, which I assume is that blue glowy thing over there. And you know what? As much as I would like to say that we could go further into the great unknown, which is absolutely true, one, this is a convenient location with plenty of space in which to construct a new facility. And two, my radiation meter has just crept into the P zone, so I should probably follow its advice and stop. However, this looks like a good spot. So, build one medium service module. There we go. Huzzah! Module is built. You can build different stations around. You have to quickly get into core and stop it. You know, babe, for once, I think we are actually in agreement. Next thing to do is construct an airlock. There we go. Confirm that. And the next task is not to build a... is actually to build an improved communications module. Tack that on somehow. Oh, I think that might actually have to go inside the base, excuse me. Yeah, there we go, confirm that. We have power. We also have oxygen. Huzzah! We have succeeded. We have not died. We have constructed our first base. Yay! Success, etc. Okay, granted, it's a bit on the bare bones side, and I'm going to have to put a proper oxygen generator in. Proper oxygen generator. There we go. Inductor, aluminium, and titanium. Which means I need to go back and build an inductor. But that's boring, so let's investigate the area around here first.